Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to my 10-day wire ring making challenge. Now be sure to join the Facebook event page where you can share pictures of your wire rings as you make them. And at the end of the 10-day challenge, I'm going to be drawing one winner to win my wire art course and also a custom-made item from our Etsy shop. And if the contest is over, no fears, you can still share pictures of your work in the event page on Facebook or join the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club. Today we're making two different designs for a moon ring. And what you're going to need for this project is your wire. I have 18 or 20 gauge copper wire. If you want the bead, use an 8mm bead. I have hematite or cat's eyes. And you need your tools. You're going to need a couple of round forms like a Sharpie or a pen to make the shape of the moon. And you'll need a ring cone. If you don't have a ring cone, you can use a thick marker like a highlighter. And I even have a DIY video on how to make your own ring cone. To get started, we're going to take about 6 to 8 inches of wire and start near one end. We're going to take a round form, either your ring cone or another round form, and just form the outside of the moon. So we're going to just make the basic shape of the moon, whatever size that you want for your finger. And then what you want to do next is get your flat pliers and figure out where the top bend will be for your moon. Hold it with your flat pliers and bend it back. So we're just going to bend this back. You can see we've bent it back here and give it a nice little crease. And this is going to be, at that point you could kind of fix up this size how you want it to be for your moon. Just get the shape how you want it. And now we want to do the inside part of the moon. So you'll need a slightly smaller round form, so maybe the end of a Sharpie or a pen, and you're going to bring this around here. Now this you can always adjust it after, so we've just brought it and we've made the shape underneath. Now at this point you can get your round pliers and just wiggle it around to your liking. So depending on how stiff the wire is, you might be able to do it with your fingers. So you can just pull this in a little bit to get the shape of your moon. And then what you want to do is this is going to go straight out to form the band. So if you need to keep working on that round part, you can take your round form back. You can actually get your pliers and wiggle it in a little bit if you want. When you're happy with it, just take your pliers, I'm using the round pliers here, and just making a little bit of a bend. So you'll see it goes out sort of at an angle here, and then you want to finish this end off. So this is how the moon is going to look here, and then you want to just bend this one around. So sometimes I find it easier to help it out. I just hold it with my pliers and give it a little straight bend back just so it won't slip out of place, and then very, very snugly just really pull it tight. And then you want to cut it so it's as snug as possible. So it's nice and snug in there. And then we're just going to pinch it in because you really want this to hold in place and you don't want it to be sharp on your finger. And then you can pinch it in here. So there you have your little moon. And from that, you're going to take it, your ring cone, and put it at the size that you want. Bring it around here and then decide where you want it to go, and then we want to trim that end a little bit so we could slip it inside. So trim it like to at least about 1/4 of an inch so you can get it inside there. Remove it from the ring cone, slide it in. So we're just sliding it in the edge there, put it back on the cone, and then this you'll probably have to grab it with the pliers. The 18 gauge wire is pretty stiff, so you're just going to have to play with it so you can get it nice and snug. And then same little trick we've done in previous rings where you just pull it just a little bit beyond where you want to cut it, and just give it a little trim so it's going to be nice and snug in there. Push it, squeeze it, and then put it back on the ring cone. And this is where, you know, you do all your finishing touches and stuff. So very simple moon ring there. So for the moon with the bead, we're just going to slide the bead right onto the wire, stick it on there, and then we want to surround the bead with the wire. So we're going to just bring this one around here, just all the way around, and then this is going to form the part that closes over here. So we're just going to form it around, and then this one we're going to pull down that way, so they're going kind of towards each other. And then if you need to like kind of help the curve here, you can slide that one behind. And then now we want to form the top part of the moon. So what we can do is, if you need some help with your pliers, go ahead and bring it in just to form like the little bit of the curve, the top of the moon, and then take these pliers and hold it in place and then bend it up. So we have the top part of the moon, and now we want to form that round bit. So what we're going to need is, we're going to need a round form that you can just use the edge of it, because it's going to be hard to access the middle of the marker. So we're just going to hold that at the edge and with your fingernail, and then just pull it around, and then that's just going to start your round form. You can use a smaller marker if you need, and then you can always adjust it. So that's kind of got the basic shape of the moon, and we're going to bring it over here. And then this one here, what we want to do is bend it out that way like we did in the previous moon, because that's going to form the band. So just take this, if you have to help make the shape a little more round, you can. So take that and just bend it straight out, and that's going to form the band that goes around the finger. And then for this, just whatever size moon that you want, you can play around with it to see, you know, the best look that you want. And when you're happy with the shape, do that little trick where you start the bend with your pliers. So hold it and then bend that as much around as you can, so the bend is started, and hold it snugly and pull that, like pull as tightly as you can, so it makes a nice tight little curve there. And then get your pointy cutters and just get them stuck right in there. So this end is going to be flush. It's not going to scratch you. It's going to be nice and solid. Push it in a bit with your pliers. Ring cone again, and then put it on the ring cone. Bend that, if you have to start it first before you put on the ring cone, just bend it back a little bit and hold it on there and wind it around the cone. Same thing, if this is too long, trim it a little bit first, then lift the moon, stick that inside, and you really want to, you know, place it where you want your size to be. Take the end, hold it with the pliers, it's going to be easier, and then pull it back. Okay, so we've got that pulled back. Remove it from the ring cone, pull it back a little bit more so it's really snug, and get your cutters in there again so they get right in there. Close that little bit so it's not scratching you, and then finishing touch, you put it back on the ring cone. And this is a really pretty wire. It's kind of a rustic antique looking wire. It's a little, I find the 20 gauge a little thin, but it's kind of cool. So there's with the bead, and then without the bead, like that. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And be sure to join the Facebook event page for the 10-day wire ring making challenge. And if the contest is already over, no worries, you could still share photos of your work in the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club on Facebook. I'll link it up below. And if you'd like to check out our wire art and jewelry on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. And if you'd like to join my mailing list, be sure to sign up below and I'll send you a free copy of my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.